There we go. Put you back down. I'll be gentle. I'll be gentle. So welcome, welcome, people on Instagram. Welcome, YouTube, and people on my Facebook. Wah! So, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me and sending out blessings of love to all of you, and to have a fabulous, wondrous day. On my intro, 'cause I have to write down, sort of some kind of information on my Instagram, or Instagram on my YouTube when I'm doing my YouTube. And I put down, because the energies today is wanting to look a certain way. What is it in our life that we are wanting to look a certain way, right? So there's things in our life, we want things to look a certain way. We want to look a certain way. We have all of those filters. Love those filters, man. Because we want to look a certain way. I just did a pinup one with on TikTok. I did day 3 TikTok, yes. Um, it still feels odd, but anyways. Um, but the first one, it's like, because you have to pose a certain way or look a certain way. Mine kept coming out looking like a man. I'm just like, oh my God, do I look like a man? Because I wanted it to look a certain way. I thought that was kind of hilarious. And then finally a pinup came, and it was like, it wasn't a cute little skinny, but it was like I was voluptuous. And that's what I'm gonna say. I was voluptuous. So I had a voluptuous look. So today we have some crazy energies, always crazy energies, um, with everything. So we have this Venus. I'm trying to say Venus, Venus and Leo. Venus, that's my new word. Venus. I don't know what it means, but it's a Venus. So Venus and Leo is trying Chiron in Aries. Now, this is bringing in Venus, like makes 3 times due to her upcoming retrograde. So she's going to be doing this 3 times. To Chiron, she's going to be doing this to Uranus and all of those dudes. Like, she's going to be trining them. So this is deeply healing and revealing our wounds and pains and needs and tending. And so what I did, because for those who haven't taken these courses before, I'm not going to be teaching right now, but I've taught Journey Club, and I don't know if many of you have taken my part 2 of Journey Club, which had to do with values and has to do with your chakra system. Now, one of the things is that when you're getting into your wounds and you're getting into your pain, that has to go into how are you cleansing and healing those chakras, right? Getting into cleansing and healing the chakras is very important. For me, it's my Kundalini yoga. Doing the Kriyas is so important, because in doing the Kriyas helps me to get into that centered point. And plus, it's timed, right? So you have a mantra that you say, whether it's Waheguru or Satnam, or whatever the kriya is. It's when we get into that energy and we allow for those vibrations to happen, it helps for those clearings. So it's for us to pay attention to what is coming up, especially last night, early morning, perhaps your dreams. Last night I was dreaming roses. They were beautiful yellow roses. They were just sort of budding. They weren't bud, but they're yellow roses, but the ends of them were kind of pink. Very beautiful roses. Cool energy. And it was yeah, these roses were there. There's something else to do with eating something. I don't know what I was eating, but there's something to do with eating. But the roses were there. That's what I remember. So this is too, as what needs healing, a greater awareness of the coming months with Venus in her descent. Venus is going to be in Leo till September. So she's there all summer. So if you guys, this is like crazy energy. So if you guys are starting a new romance, or you think that you're going to be meeting Mr. Right, say, I don't know, anytime Venus is retrograde, things aren't going to last. So this also brings up a lot to do with relationships and things that you may have been having to work with within relationships as well. So we have Pallas Athena. So Pallas Athena is the warrior goddess, right? And she's trining Eris. Now, trines are good. Trines are really wanting us to look at things, wanting to look deeply within ourselves, and really bring in that harmony of healing, or that harmony of of what is needing to be done, whether it's communications within that energy, whether it's psychological work that we have to do within that energy, or spiritual work. This is bringing in that energy. So we have these two warrior goddesses, and they're aligning, and they're fire. This is signs of passion, agency, and action, right? So this is wonderful for setting up things. So if you want to set up things and put them into motion, but you got to stand in your truth. You can't just do any old thing, right? You just can't just go and head, well, I'm going to set up because this is what I want to do. It's got to be aligned with those values. It's got to be aligned with whom you are, right? Otherwise, it's not going to work, especially within as we're heading into really heavy retrograde energy. This energy is not going to go forward if we're not going to align it to our truth of who we are. Yet, with this two warrior goddesses is to make sure that we wield with the fiery wisely. So not from the ego, from our higher selves, coming in to our higher selves. So it's so important. Again, centering ourselves, cleansing, clearing. And sometimes it feels like, oh my God, that's all I do is cleanse and clear. It's all I do is cleanse and clear. I got to clear the aura, got to clear the chakras, got to clear my body. But we are in such heavy, dynamic energy that is in such polarities and such changes that we are shifting and switching and changing all the time. Our emotions go from one extreme to another extreme right now, more so than what we ever have. We are rediscovering what it is to be human. We are rediscovering our identity, especially as women, trying to take our identity back, allowing ourselves to stand within our identity. For so many years, women have fought for their identity. Now we have these goddesses, true goddesses, women coming through. They identify themselves. They are biologically women. They are these fierce, wanting to bring forth this fury of energy. Now, as I mentioned on Monday, we have Uranian energy. Now, we all know that Uranus is the crazy uncle that you invite to Christmas, right? You don't want him to say anything or change anything, but that's what he does. And he's squared Mars, and he's going to be squaring Venus, and he's going to be doing this a couple times because she is slowed right down. Uranus doesn't move very much. So they're going to be meeting each other, right? So this is about our freedom, our liberation, and anything and everything we are holding on to out of safety and security. So this is where we have to look at what is our happiness. The happiness is the way it is, right? The way things are, what is working within our life right now, what is creating that substance within our life. If we are reaching out into something that we hope it might be, or it's something from the past because that seemed really good last time I did it, but it really wasn't. Especially when we can go into drugs and alcohol too, because that's a huge one. This is a huge alert this week for anybody who has any addictions, because this is easy to suck you back into those addictions. So emotions are about others, and not the thing is that we're taking on the emotions of others. If we're taking on those emotions and feeling especially if you're an empath, that means you're going in, you're thinking, oh, I should feel this way, or I should feel that way. This is really allowing for you to get back into your higher self, right? And have your higher self lead. It's a constant check-in, constant, which way do I go? How do I feel? Okay. All right. Sometimes it just, this is allowing for ourselves just to breathe, time out, bathroom break, got to go potty, then go to the potty. I'm not going to the potty, but I'm saying if you have to go for a bathroom break, do the bathroom breaks. So, because we have this Venus squaring Uranus, especially on Sunday, it comes exact. And this is a minor semi-square. It seems minor, but it's a wake up, shake up. It's energy. It's awakening us. And the energy is present, and it's getting us to really this is what we want. We want freedom. We don't want to have to be put into some kind of structure that isn't aligned with who we are, right? We don't want to be aligned to something that is not us. That's so important right now, because if we're getting aligned to whom or what is not us, and that we're aligning with other people's emotions and other people's ideas, we're going down a deep rabbit hole. And that deep rabbit hole can take us to a place that we don't want to go. And that again comes in with the drugs and the addictions and whatever those addictions are. It may not be drugs, it may not be alcohol, but we have other forms of addictions. It could be food, it could be sex, it could be Netflix, it could be something that is getting us from not being from within who we are. Right? How do you find out about our sun, moon, and rising sign? You'd have to go to astro.com or Cafe Astrology and put in your information. You can get it all there for free, and it'll come up. But you have to know to get your rising sign. Sorry, someone's asking me on YouTube. For your rising sign, you have to know the time you were born. All right. If you don't know the time you were born, you won't get your rising sign. So because your rising sign has to do with your time. But this energy is like, when you have to look at your safety and security. So looking at your safety and security, and that is holding us back from total liberation is up for review. What is our liberation? What is it that we need to review within our own selves, right? So this is not only for ourselves personally, but this is also in the world around us. The world is starting to look at, what is my liberation? What is my freedom? What are my values? So many are standing up. So many are coming in and awakening to, oh my God, this is what's going on. This is what they taught my child, or this is what they said to my child. So many people are coming in and they are starting to question, because they're finding this does not align with who we are and who we are within our own selves. Now, this doesn't have to do with morals and stuff like that, which are totally different. Now, in my Journey Club 2, which some of you have taken, there is a question here that we ask. And the question is, what are values? What are values? Right? So that is a question that you have to ask yourselves. We all have them. They're ingrained within us. It's like our blood type, our preferences between sweet or salty. But have you actually defined them? Begin to look at defining them. And I'm not talking about morals, which are defined by society. Our morals are defined by society. So if we are looking out into society right now, there's a lot happening right now, right? But going back to our values, this is that we have learned from experience that when we get still and listen to the small voices within our heart, the answers we are seeking come to us. To claim your values, it's helpful to take a list and work through them, brainstorm a list of common and uncommon values like abundance, compassion, courage, health, honor. Set them aside. You can do an internet search for a list of values or value clarification exercise. I don't think I have the book handy. I have a really good book on that because I teach from it. It's somewhere in my book. Hopefully I didn't sell it. That's crazy things that I sell. But this is brainstorming. So getting those clarifications. And after you have a list of your choice from a set timer, then we time it, and then you go through it 3 minutes, read through the list of values and circle every one that your gut that it fits. This is going to allow for you to get to a point where, okay, this is my values. You may circle something that you didn't even think you would circle, right? It's getting into that alignment. It's allowing for yourself to get into your alignment. I know I keep moving my people on Instagram because, you're on the phone and I keep on having to go back and forth to my notes here. So what I'm explaining now, that's from my Journey Club, and that's from week 1. And when actions and values are aligned, life feels in harmony with your purpose and you have a peace of mind. So this is even in challenging times. So it's so important to get yourself into that alignment with your values. Okay. So doing that little exercise, find your values, go on Google, go on DuckDuckGo, whatever you use. I don't care. But ask, do an internet search, list of values, right? Print it off, write it, print it off, and then the timer 3 minutes and circle what your gut tells you to circle. And then it's going to help you to go through what you need to get more clarification on, clarifying those values. And when you start doing it, because if you aren't clear on your personal values, then how can you figure out what you really want? If your personal values is family, God, then that's what you need. That's what you want to focus on. That's what you want to create more of. Everything else will come into alignment, right? But if you're not defining that, this is like, if you're not taking the actions or not congruent with who you are at the core, then you're going to see how you self-sabotage. You're going to see how things can go haywire, how you keep going back into the past and grabbing everything. And this energy is like not taking it to hysteria, not taking it to crazy land, right? Because this is coming into allowing ourselves to come into our own selves, our truth of who we are, and helping us to guide us. Because when we understand these things, when we understand these truths and values of our own selves, then when we stand up, when we are able to speak, then we're speaking from truth. We're speaking from that part of ourselves, that substance of ourselves that allows for growth, that allows for us to come in and connect with our essence, that essence, right? So setting powerful intentions, and coming into alignment with those powerful intentions, and with this energy, with all of these beautiful goddesses that are coming in, that are dynamic and transformational. Yeah, this is really, really strong, right? So we need to look at what's the best thing to do is flow with the changes, especially with Uranus, and don't grab hold on to other expectations and think, well, it has to be that way. Allow yourself to come in, because that's going to give you the freedom and the liberation, especially with Uranus. Because Uranus, if you want to hold it on and you want it to look this way, because this is the way that you think it should be, and that's even with I need it to look this way, instead of allowing yourself to open and blossom like those beautiful lotuses, and open. And as you open, you're going to be able to receive more. You're going to be able to see more. You're going to be bringing in that balance. Balance is key. The key with Neptune is to ground the energy. Neptune stationary retrograde tomorrow. So here comes this big tidal wave, this tsunami, in the middle of the ocean, and it's Poseidon, and Poseidon can be a little pissy ass, because if he doesn't get his way, he's the oldest son. It's like that argument that he has with Zeus, Jupiter. Oh, you always get everything, because Jupiter's the big guy, right? But so he has to make through to the higher heart. The intuition, the compassion, the psychic energy can be amplified. But can be a tendency to wear rose-colored glasses. Oh, that's funny that just came in, rose-colored glasses, and I was dreaming of roses. So don't have the rose-colored glasses. Be idealistic, right? You have a great day, Shar. Have a great day at work. Be idealistic and ungrounded and lack clear boundaries. The key with Neptune, as I said, is the grounding the energy. Too much up and out, we float off, and with the planets, and we're here, and Neptune denied means we shut ourselves down from our intuitions, and then in comes craziness, like, oh, drugs and alcohol, and all of those things, because that's what happens when we have Neptune come in. And Neptune, we're going to the darker sides of Neptune. So we have to come into our truth and of being that beautiful mystics that we are, and allowing ourselves to come into the mysticism of the energies of our being. So this energy is to really allow ourselves to use our GPS. Use your GPS. If you are feeling like you are going out of bounds, if you're going too far, especially with the moon in Scorpio, right? And this is the last moon in Scorpio with the South Node, because the nodes are changing. This is where we look at and we say, you know what? okay, I have to do a U-turn. If you've ever had your GPS on and it says make a U-turn, this is maybe you need to make a U-turn. Maybe you need to start looking at the three most important things that you need to that you want in your life, right? What do you want to experience? Your growth, your contribution. What are those things? What are those that energy that you want? And if when you start defining that and you start taking the time to make it clear, then you're going to start stepping into the energies that you want and get the clarity around the personal values. Also, has assisted, for me in making decisions. And sometimes I can be very stubborn-headed. I can be very stuck and I have to keep it this way. It's very Scorpio, right? Being stuck. I got to hang on to this to the very last. But it's, in the end, it's like, no, I got to come back into that energy. And it's funny because, starting my one Kriya on June 12th really was getting me back into my lower chakras, getting me back into that essence of, okay, how do I define me? And what do I need to do to define me? Others may define me in many different ways. Others may see me, and I don't want to get into the emotions of others. I don't want to get emotions about others. I want to get into my emotions, my energy, in how I want to create my happiness around from my day to day. This is bringing in the happiness is not about perfect big events in life, but about the culmination of small moments. And that's why we do gratitudes. Gratitudes builds up on those things within our life. And especially when we do little gratitudes each and every day, the little gratitudes each and every day help us to really step into, the joy, the peace, the love, the harmony in amongst a world gone crazy, in amongst a world that is not defining within our own selves of our values. So this is coming into the truth of our essence and stepping into that truth. So today, take some time. Take some time and start looking at what your values are. If you have taken my courses before and you still have the sheets, take the sheets out. Start looking at some of those sheets. Sometimes it's a little hard to do because you're taking a real clear look at who you are. But as we are building up, especially to this full moon, it is getting us to really look at what we are wanting to create within our foundation and the truth of our foundation, of who we are as people, as men, as women, and within this human collective energy that is coming forward. So I have a sale on 15-minute readings, $3.99. So if you are wanting $3.99, $33.33. I don't know where $3.99. $3.99. What is $3.99? I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know why I said $3.99, but $3.99. I'm gonna look that up. $33.33 for a 15-minute reading. I can do it by phone. I can do it by text, however you'd like to do it. We can also do it, by Google Meet. That's how I've been doing it with people. And it's recorded and you get the recording. So if you are wanting to book a 15-minute reading, this is my intro of stepping back into my work. This is opening up to being able to do more of my work, do more of my readings, and coming back into my alignment to my values. Okay. So have a fabulous day, everybody. It's going to be a hot one out there in Cowtown. So make sure you wear a hat, put your sunscreen on. I'm not a sunscreen wearer, but my daughter is. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. And come into your joy and light. Come into that beauty of who you are, right? So may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Blessed be everybody. Have a fabulous, fabulous Thursday. And whoop, 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 whoop. We will talk to you tomorrow. Blessed.